I guess the company this week of note, the main character energy goes to Amazon. Alex, maybe you could tee up the breaking news from the last 48 hours about Amazon and jobs and employment.
So the New York Times. Yeah, New York Times got its hands on some internal documents from Amazon, the cloud and e-commerce giant. These are from the 2024 timeframe, so they're a little bit dated. But essentially, the company's investments in automation at the warehouse level in particular are going to help it hire 160,000 fewer people through 2027. And the Times writes that could save them up to about 30 cents per package that they pick and then deliver. 30 cents is not that much, but if you multiply times billions of packages, it adds up quite quickly. And all the work they've done over the last 10 to 15 years to build out robots and increase automation in their warehouses will save them about 600,000 hires through 2033. And the ultimate goal is to get to about 3/4 automation, about 75%. One of the major stories we talked about through the COVID era was how many people Amazon hired to build out its warehouses as e-commerce took off during that period of economic disruption. Now we're seeing the other side of that, and a lot of long-term bets by the company come good. Great news for Amazon shareholders, all of us here who have 401ks. Pretty tough, I think, Jason, looking ahead for the people who currently feed their families on $19 an hour Amazon warehouse jobs.
What's your take, lad? Seems conservative to me, but what are your thoughts on automation, robotics? Yeah, purpose-built, humanoid?
Yeah, it's interesting. It feels like for a long time, robotics was one of those areas that was always going to happen and didn't quite, right? If you looked at the installed base of robots, it was in the hundreds of thousands of new robots per year, largely for automotive and very specific industrial applications. And it seems like now we're going through a sea change. And I think, it's kind of funny, actually. If you ask what's a robot, your dishwasher to some extent is a robot, right? Like a lot of things that we kind of take for granted now are robots. In the modern era, the things that are really emerging now are obviously some of the things that were just mentioned relative to Amazon, but also even self-driving cars and Waymo and Tesla and what's happening there. Those are robots, right? Those are cars that drive themselves. There's a lot of startups right now, Pi and the Bot Company and a few others who are all building next-gen sort of foundation models for robots. And so it seems like within the next couple of years, we'll see a lot of these things substantiate. And there's sort of two questions that come to mind for me. One is, what proportion of the winners will be incumbents versus startups? So for example, if you look at self-driving, there was 24 self-driving companies, but the winners arguably are Waymo from Google and then Tesla, right? Two incumbents actually effectively have so far at least won self-driving. There's cool companies like Applied Intuition and others who are providing pieces of this, but CarOS and other things. But I think that's sort of clear winners, at least so far, those two. And robots, it seems like Tesla will be one, right, through their Optimus work. And then the question is, who else? Is it a startup? Is it another incumbent? Is it an incumbent who buys the startup? Is it at-home robots, which a lot of people are working on, which I view would be kind of awkward. There's like a robot in your living room and you walk in and, it's like mopping or something. I'm joking about that. Or is it an industrial application, more B2B, which is sort of the Tesla Optimus sort of view. And so I think there's this big question of, who wins and why, and then what are the first application areas on top of that?
Yeah, it was pretty obvious to me. I saw Andy Jassy speak at a private event, I don't know, a couple of months ago. And, he was pretty bullish on AI. And then a day later, he did this public missive where he wrote, hey, AI is going to transform everything. And we could see different team sizes. That was like to me, when a CEO that sophisticated doesn't write that memo without a reason. He was telegraphing internally, externally, with partners. Hey, this is going to result in less jobs. And I was on the Bulwark podcast, a political podcast, and I said, I don't see a world in the next 10 years where a human being touches a package at an Amazon factory or to your doorstep. Here's the quick clip.
Jason, do you want to just run the clip?
Yeah, it's a little self-indulgent, but sure. Let's.
This is literally your podcast. You're allowed to be self-indulgent.
Don't want to be too self-indulgent here. Quoting myself.
We'll stop you. Anyways, here's Jason quoting himself.
This is where things could get really nutty. And we're already starting, and that's where like the doomsday scenarios, Terminator ones kind of come out of that group. So what happens if, all drivers go away? Well, every self-driving car is 4 full-time jobs, and every humanoid robot in a factory is 5 jobs, maybe 6, because those jobs you can work for maybe 7 hours as a just physical limitation. As humans, we're driving, you can work a 12-hour shift. And those are those are going to be here, folks. And before 2030, you're going to see Amazon, which has massively invested in this, replace all factory workers and all drivers. The idea that when you order something from Amazon, a human would touch it at any point in that supply chain is insane. It will be 100%, robotic, which means all of those workers are going away. Every Amazon worker, all those jobs, UPS gone, FedEx gone. All of those are going to be gone, and those companies will be more profitable. And when you order something, it's going to come faster and cheaper and better. And your Uber will be half as much, but somebody needs to retrain these people. And that's actually a very valuable. What do you think about job displacement, Elad? Obviously, I have strong feelings that this displacement is coming. I don't know if anybody disagrees with that. I guess we're all just going to debate timelines, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. Do you think we're going to have societal issues with job displacement? We're already seeing computer science graduates having a hard time recently getting jobs. And I think most people are attributing it to AI making the senior people more productive. So what's your take on job displacement? I'm curious. Your startup needs custom software, but building your own secure, production-ready apps is hard, right? And not every founder has the expertise or time to get started. Well, now you don't have to. Just use Zite, Z-I-T-E. Make whatever you need from idea to a working app in just minutes, easily, all on your own. Plus, you can fill it in with forms, apps, databases, and other automations that you need as part of your product. So many of the no-code and vibe coding tools are just flashy demos, or they work on legacy systems that take so much time and effort to learn, let alone master. But Zite is both easy to use and powerful enough to build out the apps you want. And it quickly connects all the other tools you're already using. For example, earlier this month, they added the ability to bulk create and update records. So it's easier and faster than ever to design data-heavy apps that are constantly syncing between systems. That's the kind of attention to detail that sets Zite apart. Start using the #1 AI-powered business software generator on the market. And we're going to give you 50% off your first project. Go to Zite.com/twist to get started. That's Zite.com/twist for 50% off your first project.